Welcome to NGS, where we dive into my hobbies, such as playing cards. And I don't know if y'all are aware, but this Sunday is St. Patrick's Day, so I figured it'd be cute to do like a little week of green decks, which is what I have in front of you now. So we'll start it off with this green deck and ease you into it. This is the Bicycle Fireflies. I mean, if you couldn't tell, it's designed to look like fireflies or light bugs or whatever you call them, whatever you want to call them. So I guess we'll just go ahead and dive right into this green deck for St. Patrick's Day. Let's start with the tuck case. We have here Bicycle with their usual style and font that you know all too well since 1985. We have a giant spade here that has like puzzle pieces missing inside. I think it, in my opinion, it looks like a razor blade reshaped into a spade. And we have Fireflies written down here, playing cards, and yes, it is foiled. The playing cards are foiled, and so is the border around Bicycle. It is also embossed, if you can see the raised parts there. I'm trying to do my best with that. And the light up parts that you see in the background, the green, is also raised up a bit, and kind of glossy. On the side, we have here the United States Playing Card Company with this very nice vinework border here. Kind of looks like fire in my opinion, and it is also foiled. On this side, air cushion finish, same thing. I didn't mention it, but in the background of the font and letters here, you see the fireflies on both sides also. On the bottom, we have a barcode and the tag. These cards are from 2018. And on the top here, we have that same borderline here that we see with the United States Playing Card Company. I assume it doesn't say anything there, but I'm not too sure because of the seal that all decks should have. On the back of the tuck case, we have an idea of what the deck is going to look like, the backs of the cards. From a distance, it kind of looks like slices of kiwi. But we have here this like orange goldish vine work, kind of looks like a fence here with this what I call a razor blade texture vine work along borders here. And then we got the circles here with little fireflies, light bugs if you will. And a circle that glows with these lines and dots. And I really mean it, it looks like a kiwi. I'll put an image of 3 kiwis right here so you have a comparison. Alright, now we will go ahead and crack into these bad boys. If I can, there we go. And of course we have the copyright information here on the flap, and on the tabs we have the same fireflies that are showed to us right here. The inside is just plain white. And here are the cards. That looks nice. Hold on, let's do that again. That's cool. I like the effect that gives. So as stated with the back of the box, we have the same artwork that is on the back of these. What makes this deck very interesting to me is that the borders are not just black. They have these very light, you can barely see it, this very light coloring that you can see inside these dots, kind of like fireflies, if you could imagine. The same thing you see here, but obviously the dots in here are glowing way more vibrantly than the ones on the edges here. But because they are there vaguely, when you do a fan, it makes this cool effect where you can kind of see the lines going around and through. Same thing with the other side, because these cards are in fact, I think they are, hold on. Because these cards are, in fact, symmetrical. Meaning that you can't tell if they're upside down or right side up. But with this specific deck that I have, you can, because I think this is the first time on my channel that I'm showing you a deck that was not centered during the cutting process of production. If you look at the top here, this line of the border is way thicker than this side. See that? Which means that like you'll have some cards that are very thin, like these ones here, and then some that are very thick, like these ones here. It's a shame, but it is what it is. You can't get 100% perfect cards every time, and you can kind of see where I flipped the cards. One is darker on one side and brighter on the other, so I guess they're not completely symmetrical, but I assume when you start mixing them together, you're not going to be able to tell. Let's go ahead and try that real quick. Yeah, once they're all mixed together, you can't really tell. Oops. Now, if you thought the backs looked cool and fanned or spreaded, wait till you see the fronts. Look at that. Yeah, so the background of all the cards on their faces have the fireflies flying in the background. The ones that are on the top and the bottom are, they are up close. They're in the foreground, so they're bigger, and then as we get to the center of the card, the fireflies are, further in the background, so they're smaller and less vibrant, which kind of gives this cool effect that you see here whenever you spread the deck. But while we're also on the spreading of the deck, you can see that the card patterns are not symmetrical. You can see they kind of tried to be, but you can see that they are not quite exactly the same. But it gives a very cool pattern like a peacock whenever you fan them with the face showing. With that being said, let's get to the faces. Here is the Joker card. It is a Joker holding a box with a glowing spade. I assume the box is full of fireflies, and he has a little staff here with a little jester face. This one right here is, I guess, orange or bronze, and then we have a silver or blue one. So you can do a color change on this Joker if you so please. And here we get to the court cards, which I think are very creative in the fact that they're the basic generic court cards you see from Bicycle, but they are one-toned. So they're all one color, but they have a gradient about them. So it's more bright in the middle and gets darker as it goes to the top and bottom of the card. But per the style, it is the exact same king that you would see in Bicycle. The heart is a little different, where the edge of the pointy part at the top is more curved when it goes in instead of pointy. And you see that with the pips as well on the indices. And you're gonna see that too with all of the pips technically, and they're bordered with that silver that I say kind of reminds me of a razor blade. But yeah, I'll go ahead and go through these so you can see for yourself. The aces are pretty cool because they have so much negative space that's being filled with the background. And I mean, look at that, that's pretty cool. Hard to read though if you're playing a game with these, so I think these are more for collecting or for flourishes than anything. There's the Ace of Spade, which is the same spade that we see brandished on the front of the tuck case. And now we're at the normal numbered cards. For the black cards, it kind of looks like it's very small, like the opacity's at 30%. So you can see through the black, but you can see there's intentionally a black fill in the middle of the pips. Let's see if that's the same for the red. Not as much, but you still can see through them vaguely. This opacity is probably like at an 80. Opacity meaning like how transparent it is. I'm sure you know what that means by now. And then we get to the double backer, which you love to see, and a promo card. Very nice deck. My favorite part being when you fan it. And yeah, so that is the Bicycle Fireflies deck. If these are available right now, so I will put them down in the description. Thanks for watching the first St. Patrick's Day video for the week of St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Week, I guess. And I hope to see you right or back in the next video.
You're dealing with the ghost. We are spitting facts, so don't mistake it with the boast. Looking for a lethal injection, we got the dose. We are giving the chills from your head down to your toes. You're trying to touch us, but you're dealing with the ghost.